Welcome to Redesigning Health and Home. I'm Meg.
And I'm Kerri. We love creating beautiful, functional spaces and living healthy, vibrant lives. So join us as we chat about simple, practical ways to take care of your body, mind, and your home. Whether it's fitness tips, home decor ideas, recipe, or navigating those big life moments, we're here to share what works for us and what doesn't, with some encouragement along the way.
Let's redesign this life together, one step, one room, and one habit at a time. Welcome back to Redesigning Health and Home. I am Meg, one of your hosts, and along with myself, we have Kerri, our co-host extraordinaire. Kerri, how are you today?
I am doing really well, Meg. Thank you. How are things with you?
Well, things are moving, and I will explain more one of these episodes. So things are moving along here, and I'm excited to share about that. But today, we are going to do our summer bucket list recap. Are you ready for this?
I am. I was actually, it was so funny because I was like, I need to play like that episode again. So if you haven't heard it, go check out the summer bucket list episode where we talked about what we were hoping to do this summer. And I was like, I wonder how many we actually did.
Well, I will tell you, when I was finishing listening to it, I was really cracking up. It really made me laugh, some of the points. I was giggling so hard out loud as I was taking some notes. And one thing that I did write down, I said, Kerri talked about talking about it versus planning it. I want to touch base on that because I have some good check marks on some and I have some big old on some.
Yep, me too. And we're recording this 1 week into September and it'll air in a couple weeks probably, but we're getting ready to talk about our fall series, our fall bucket list. And I'm thinking, can I scoot any of the summer things into fall? And not a terrific amount of them, but anyway, it'll be interesting to see how we did.
I mean, that went so fast when at the beginning, when we were talking about it, I thought we'd have plenty of time.
And that's what I was imagining is it just zooms by the summertime.
You have to plan. You have to plan. So planning is another good thing to do. Okay. Should we take it from the top of what we first talked about?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, the very first thing, both had boats. And you had many boats, canoes, sails, and all the things. So How did that go for you?
So we've been out for a couple canoes, other than the 5-hour one that I told you we went to a lake. It was a much more relaxed one. And we will still continue to do, hopefully, at least one more canoe, because the weather's still nice in September. So we did that. That was lovely. We had a perfect night for it. No fish caught, but it was still lovely. And then our sailing trip, I think I talked about that on a different episode, highlight of the summer, absolutely beautiful. The sunset sail, recommend highly in Chicago. It was just gorgeous. The dinner cruise for the anniversary did not happen. So on that one. Has to be next year. Next year's our 35th, so maybe that'll be good.
Okay, well, I was going to ask about this dinner cruise because I was all excited to get pictures and everything. So I'll have to wait another year for some wonderful anniversary dinner cruise.
Yes. Boat. How about your boat?
2 out of 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. How about your boat?
My one boat was 100%, so I'll give myself a big gold star for that. Yes, we had such a great day. Perfect. There I go. I'm going to cry. I don't know. It was perfect. Yes, we had a great time. Oh, so I called around for rentals because there's some where you can rent right at resorts. And obviously they charge more because maybe you're staying at the resort. Right. So I was just calling around marinas and one was almost half of what, but it was kind of out there. And actually when we were pulling off, we thought, where is the lake? Right. So they were super great. Well, they said, load up the boat and then you'll probably get in the guy's truck and he'll attach the pontoon to the truck tow.
Oh, okay.
Well, even better. So Gibbs' aunt was all excited. I think this was the highlight of her trip because this guy said, just get on the boat.
So you're in the boat while he's pulling you.
We are just cruising this back road So we were on a boat on land, and then then they drove us right into the lake. He backed us right in, and then off we were. We were crying. It was hilarious because the wind is blowing and the cars.
Now, how long is this boat by land ride?
Boat by land. It really was hilarious and so much fun. I thought, well, it was like a hayride almost.
Yes, right, yeah.
It was too short.
You were like, let's go around
again. 1,000%. It was about half a mile.
Okay.
Just right down the road, and he got us in, but
yeah.
I think she thought, no, you'll all pack in his truck.
Right.
He said, just get on the boat. And Gib's aunt was just thrilled. She's taking pictures. And then just when we were on the boat, we just had the best time. The kids were playing DJ, and I made a bunch of just big sandwiches, no grill.
Here's what I was hoping you were going to say. And then we pulled up and they said, would you like a grill with that? But they didn't offer, huh?
They did not offer, and we did not bring one. We had sandwiches and a cooler and snacks and just cruising around the lake.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you got good weather because you had one very specific
day. Oh, yes. And it was great. We jumped in. It was hot enough. The water was just cold and good. And super. Yes, I was excited about that. Okay, so very good. So we did pretty good.
You did pretty good with our boats.
I think because the boats were our first one we talked about that was on our list, we must have both been really
excited about that.
Excited, yes. Okay, number 2, outdoor music. And you were specifying however it happened.
Yes. Yeah, and we actually were lucky. We found a few things. So there's a coffee shop very close to us that we love, Hampshire Social. And we lucked out one day and there was this super cute young woman and it was inside and she was singing and she was very cute and just really good at like the audience back and forth chatter, which a lot of them are not, like don't do that. And so we were commenting like, wow, she's very engaging with the audience. Well, then we go to Pizza on the Farm and she's playing there.
Oh my
she
gosh.
was. And we hadn't recognized because at the coffee shop, she was solo, but at Pizza on the Farm, she was with her group. So we hadn't recognized the name. So yeah, so then we got to see her again, which was super fun. And we're like, is that the same girl? And it sure was. And then we were looking specifically for live music, and we saw that there was some in St. Charles. And we're like, oh, well, let's go check it out. Well, I haven't spent a lot of time in downtown St. Charles. First of all, it is beautiful. Like stunning right by the river.
Stunning, yes.
Yeah, so we're trying to find this restaurant where the live music's supposed to be. And we stumble across these 2 young, I'm going to guess early 20-somethings, singing right by the river outside. They were amazing. We only caught just like their last few songs before they wrapped up. And then you could still hear more music over there where our guy was. So we went and we just had appetizers and drinks, and it was, again, perfect weather. The weather always, is a big factor. But yeah, so it was great. So we definitely have caught some outdoor music, and it's been super fun. And we're hoping to still catch some more. So hopefully.
That is so great. When I was listening to our summer bucket list episode, and you were talking about Toni Braxton and Tony Bennett, it hit me just in the funny bone perfectly today. I was just crying. It was so funny.
That was so funny. We were so surprised. So again, if you haven't heard that story, go check out the summer bucket list episode. So how about you guys? Any outdoor music for you?
Yeah, the 2 things I mentioned, we check. The winery was the second day the kids were in. We packed a huge basket of picnic stuff, and I did reserve a table so you didn't have to worry about going early and finding a spot.
Nice. Yep.
But you could still bring a picnic. So we went to Trader Joe's that morning. Perfect. And we just said everybody grab a bunch of fun stuff. So that was great because we just unloaded and we danced and we had fun and the weather was beautiful too, so that was great. And then we did do that ride and dine at the top of the mountain, up the gondola. And he was very entertaining. It was just one guy with a guitar and It was just a barbecue, quick, but it was cool that night because it was hot where we were. Then by the time 6:30 came up at the top of the mountain, it was pretty chilly. So we actually all got hot chocolates that night. Surprising, in mid-August. And we had a really, really nice time. So yeah, I was happy.
Very nice.
Really good stuff. Okay.
We'll get 100. We get another gold star for live music.
We're planners, Kerri.
We are. We're trying.
Okay. So actually, you mentioned the dinner cruise already. And you know what? That's still just going to be pushed forward a little bit.
Yes.
And then my one that I would say would get a want is I was over-inspired about the farmer's market situation. We did go to one indoor one, but I think we were late in the day. It was very picked over. It was uninspiring, kind of a letdown.
The fall markets are nice, and then you start to get the pumpkins and all the pretty flowers.
I'll have to do some research, but I was very inspired, and then I just must have not planned it in or didn't make it a priority. I guess that's it.
Yeah. We hit a couple. One was very, very tiny, and we zipped through there in like 5 minutes. We found our pierogi guy, which was perfect. So we got pierogies from our pierogi guy. And then we went to the Woodstock one, which we always like. But it was really hot, and we took the dog, which wasn't a great call because he was uncomfortable and hot. So he kind of zoomed around, and I was like, okay, here's what you're looking for. You're looking for some delicious bread and, some produce. Go. Yeah, but not very relaxing, I wouldn't say.
Well, this is actually making me think for next year, looking ahead, that the plan might just need to be, you and I talked even about trying to get a couple pictures or videos of our bucket list of ideas. And I really kind of failed on that too. Shoot.
I have a few pictures. I'm not going to tell you they're great. I just get and maybe this is a good thing. It's not when you don't have any pictures, but I get so caught up in like the event or the moment that and people will be like, oh, send photos. And I very rarely remember. The rest of my family is better at taking pictures. And then I'll be like, send them to me because I took 0.
Zip. Okay. And now I think the next one, so I think it's your turn, but just if we're going in order of our list, I was going to record some videos outside. Man.
It's not too late, Meg.
It's not too, okay. I did think that when I was listening, I thought, oh shoot, I better get out there even before you and I talk. But to be completely honest, I did record a few videos, but not out in the beautiful nature. So I'm going to push that one, just like you're saying.
Yes.
And then you, Kerri, you had camping on yours.
Yeah. However, we did talk about it. So we live in the Chicagoland area, and we have very beautiful falls. So we feel like it's not too late. The next couple of weeks are crazy busy, but we're thinking end of September, beginning of October, maybe. So there's still hope. It wouldn't be a summer camping trip. It would be a fall camping trip, but we're hoping. And the nice thing is the weather's cool enough that we can take Ollie with us, and he would be probably comfortable enough to go. So we're still hoping to sneak one in there, but we didn't. And primarily between being busy and just with our little dog, and the insulin has to be refrigerated, and he's blind now, and he doesn't like the heat, and I don't like the heat. And so those are my excuses. We just didn't get out.
They make sense. And it sounds like when we talk about our fall bucket list, I might hear camping on it.
You might. Fall camping. Fall camping is very nice, actually.
It sounds lovely.
I mean, because we camp in a tent. And so the nice, cool evenings are way better than when you're just sweating buckets in there,
I think you made a good choice for this.
Right. I think it's going to work out.
Very, very good. So when you talked about camping, I mentioned outdoor fires and meat and cheese trays and stargazing. And yes, check. We had some great friends come in visiting us. And I think every night we did a campfire
Perfect.
and just passed
Love
around the iPod for jukebox. Everybody got to
that.
take a turn listening to
Yes.
different music, and we had just the stars were great, perfect, cozy sweatshirt weather at night because the
Nice.
nights really cool off. And yes, the stargazing. Speaking of, I think there's supposed to be a big, tell Peter this, blood orange moon tomorrow.
Tomorrow, really?
Yes. So
Okay.
tomorrow, our recording time.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Got you. Yes. Yes. Which will be, what is this? So September 7th. I'll
Yeah.
have to let him know. He did get up like at 2 a.m. a couple nights ago to go
Oh,
try to see some kind of, I don't know if it was a meteor shower, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
did he get it?
Unfortunately, he didn't see anything. No,
Okay.
so I don't know if it was too cloudy or what happened, but he
Right.
didn't see. I didn't even notice that he got up. I was like, really? Okay.
Well, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
That's fun. Did you do any fires outside? Well, on your party you did, right?
We actually, because we've been sticking close to home with our little puppy dog, we've done a ton of fires. Yeah. Lots and lots of fires. So it's one of our favorite things to do. And I went out for lunch. This was funny. I went out for lunch with my neighbor Linda on Thursday. She said, yeah, we were out on our deck and we were playing cards. And all of a sudden, we noticed like the smoke. And my husband Randy said, oh, there's Peter polluting the neighborhood. And I was like, oh. So I told Pete that, and I was like, we might want to be careful. And I said to her, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And she just laughed. She said, no, we think it's great but he really does love his fires. And I was like, yeah, he really does. I was like, oh no.
Well, we bought one of those knockoff solo stoves,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
the smokeless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I
We
think it
don't
pulls-
use that. And
Well,
he burns everything. He trims down a tree, lets it dry out for a couple of days. He's throwing that on, and there's just smoke. And there's times where I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna come back when all of the burning parts, like all the dead stuff burning is done, and it's not quite so smoky. I'll come back and sit with you then.
rotate your chair every wind blow.
So we have 8 chairs, 2 on each side. We have a square pit.
I see.
2 on each side, and I am chair hopping, trying to find which spot has the least smoke coming out of it. It's very relaxing. Not.
Well, okay.
Anyway.
Well, hey, that's a benefit then, because Linda only gets 25% then. If wind's only blowing that way.
Yep. But apparently she noticed, so I was like, geez, Louise, they're moving soon. Maybe that's why. No, I'm sure it's not.
You're the best neighbor. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come
Well,
on. Well, good.
anyway.
What about some awesome snacks? Because I did write charcuterie board. Did you make some?
Yes.
Wait, for your
Charcuterie.
sale you mentioned you brought a meat and cheese tray, right?
For my sale?
When you went on your
Oh,
evening.
the sale. I'm thinking like a garage sale.
Oh.
Was I supposed to have a garage sale? I do need to have one. Yes, I took one for the sale on Lake Michigan, and it was a big highlight. It's hard to pack a charcuterie board, though, right?
Yeah.
So I have one of those cupcake transport things, and they have circles. And I got some little cups that fit in the circles, and I used those to put things in, which helped. I'm not going to say, and then I had to kind of put paper towel to fill the space, but that helped anyway. Yeah, yes, we love charcuterie. I love charcuterie.
That's a great idea. Okay, if you could only have one besides the meat and the cheese and the crackers,
Mhm.
what's one thing special you put on there? Do you put
Chutney.
some what is it?
Chutney.
Chutney, which one?
Well, it depends where you shop. So I
Yeah.
got one from Trader Joe's that was so good. And actually, was that Trader Joe's? I think so. But then another time, I think we just went to Jewel, and they had a pepper, like a jalapeno pepper jelly. My gosh, with the cheese and the crack, so good. Yeah, so good. And if you have we sliced up also a little baguette so good. But it just, I don't know. It's that bit of sweet, with the
Yeah.
with the meat and the cheese, kind of with the salty tangy.
Keep
So,
talking.
yeah. Right?
Tell me all about this.
And then some interesting nuts is always fun.
Yeah. Yes. I bought a sour cherry spread
Oh, yum.
and with crackers and then a salty cheese.
So
Look,
good.
my stomach just growled. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing. Well, very good. Well, this was good. I think we did fairly good. High five.
Yeah, we did pretty good. And then I wanted to ask you, were there any surprising things that you did that weren't on your bucket list?
Ooh, okay. Let me think. Yeah, that's a good question. So yes, given I did have a fun ride up a mountain once, all the way to the top, and it was windy and fun and so pretty. I mean, it's
Oh,
if you can do it and be just together with the people you love and out in nature, like you said, there's really nothing better. And I probably didn't take enough pictures because I was just enjoying it so much.
yeah.
How about you?
Well, for Father's Day weekend, we went into the city and the plan was to go to the beach. And it was supposed to be stinking hot, and it really was. And so we said, well, let's bring we have one of those beach tents, like a 3-sided beach tent and we're like, well, at least then we'll have some shade. Well, it was windy. And so we're trying to set up the tent, and it's blowing all around. And now we're like, can we even get these stakes into the sand and whatever? So it was so hot. It was so hot. And I'm trying to enjoy this, but I had my neck fan.
Yeah.
I had it all. And the cooler with the cold drinks. And it was just, I kept kind of being like, so everybody ready to go? So it was fun-ish, I guess. Yeah, it was too hot for us. But anyway, so that we got to do it. And that was fun. And then another big highlight of the summer was the girls and I flew to Canada for our niece Caitlin's after party wedding party. And that was obviously planned way in advance, but so much fun. We danced like crazy. My sister Deb, she's amazing. She planned getting ready for the parties for Caitlin and then our 2 girls. And so they were all doing their hair and their makeup and getting dressed together. It was so cute. And they're playing music and having snacks. And it was just, it was so fun. And my sister Barb came also, and we helped Deb to decorate and then at the party, all 4 sisters were together, which doesn't happen very often. So super highlight of our summer for sure. And yeah, so much fun. And just to see how happy Kaylin and Taylor are was just, it was amazing. It was a great time. Great time.
That's so incredible. I love hearing those stories.
It went by like that. And I got a nasty virus. Jordan had it, and then I got it. And she was kind of getting over it, but I had it kind of right smack in the middle. And for me, like my whole right ear, I could hardly hear anything.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so everybody's like, the music's loud. And I was like, is it?
Right.
I'm having a great time over here. So yeah, but it was just super fun.
Sounds like you had an amazing summer.
Yes, it went by very quick.
Yes, it always does. And I will really briefly quick talk about the other couple. I had a ton of popsicles this summer.
Good for you.
I barbecued our burgers and steaks and salads. I think all the foods we talked about, I probably got in. How about you? Real quick on the food.
I was like, I didn't do the mango chutney on the hot dog or the fish tacos or anything. So yeah, we didn't do that, but lots of watermelon, lots of hot dog, roasts and burgers with all the fixins and
nice.
So yeah, lots of good stuff like that. And I think this is the perfect time to lead into our fall series.
I agree.
Fall and food, man, those go together. I was thinking all the F words: fall, food, fashion, favorites, fitness, and then decor. I couldn't think of a F word. Fall decor.
I wanted to ask you, so we are introducing, we are going to do our fall series and we're going to do all things fall, like you just said. Now, do you think we're including Thanksgiving in this fall or will that be separate?
Let's include it.
We'll include it.
Maybe it needs to be its own thing. Maybe we do holiday food for Thanksgiving and Christmas on an episode or something.
Perfect. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a great recap of our summer bucket list. And it leads us right into our next series, which is going to be our fall series that we're super excited about. So, Meg, what do we have planned to talk about in our fall series?
Yeah, I think we're going to do all things fall, kind of like summer, fall foods, fall activities, maybe fall gear and clothing, maybe some fall ways we can enjoy fitness. Maybe if you've been inside because of the heat, maybe we can get outside if you're more outdoorsy. Any other fall things you can think of?
I think we were talking maybe a little bit about fall fashion. It's going to be sweater weather soon, which is always fun. And yeah, I think there's so many fall decor, switching over. Put away all those cozy blankets, and it's going to be time to pull them out and, switch up our decor maybe just a little bit. So yeah, there's so many things to talk about fall. It's one of my favorite seasons, even though I'm like in denial about winter. I do love fall, but I'm just like, let's not rush summer, okay? It's like, just like, oh no, it's coming.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Have you had a pumpkin spice latte yet?
Yes. Just one.
Okay.
Actually, it was not from Starbucks. It was from Dunkin' Donuts. But they call it something else, not as good. I just find it's too sweet. Maybe I should have asked for less of the whatever they put in there. But I did have one of those. I already have baked up a batch of pumpkin muffins with chocolate chips in them. And I took some to work and left some at home. And I'm an overmixer. Like it always says, do not overmix. I always overmix.
Okay.
It's like I feel like every little grain of flour has to be mixed in. Well, then they turn out flat and they don't get nice and puffy. So I have to try them again. So I took them into my work with the caveat of, sorry, they're flat. Like, why did I do that? Like, here's a gift. Sorry, they're flat. And everybody's like, what?
A disclaimer. My daughter always says, don't disclaim everything.
Right.
You're right. I'll try to do something nice, but then I'll say, but FYI.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. Well, I'm sure they were delicious and they sound amazing.
They were tasty.
Can't wait. Now, can I share one other thing before we wrap up?
Please.
I think you and I were talking about our Friday episodes have been so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I think you and I have been talking about that maybe Fridays, our post will just be you and I chatting. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to save Fridays just for Meg and I to talk about whatever pops into our brains, and it'll just be the two of us. And then if we have guest episodes, we've decided to have that on a special day. So what are you thinking about that, Meg?
Yeah, I think that sounds really nice because I really love our special times together, just talking about as we grow into our own selves and we redesign all of these things. And then when we have our guests, maybe it'll just be a bonus episode on a Tuesday here or there. We'll work really hard to promote those.
We will work really hard to make sure that you know about those episodes when they're coming up with our guests, and we'll make sure to post, on the socials about them and let you know when those are coming up. But yeah, you can expect Meg and I every Friday so that you can plug us in your ears and take us for a walk or to do your vacuuming or whatever you're going to do. So we want to be your friend and cheerleaders for that time. And then if we have a special episode with a guest, that will be a bonus episode for that particular week. So that's what our new fall schedule plan is for Redesigning Health and Home.
Fantastic. And okay, I already said this is it. But one more thing. Are you redesigning anything right now?
Actually, it's not for me. Our daughter's moving a week from today. So I'm going to go help her do some packing today, maybe tomorrow. And she's moving to an adorable new apartment that's 6 blocks from her other daughter. And it's a 1-bedroom, and she's taking her little menagerie of pets with her. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, a little bit redesigning for her and It's always fun to move to a new place. I love moving, actually. Like the work is too much. But I love the fresh palette of like, ooh, how is this place going to set up? It is really fun. So thinking about that for her, but otherwise just kind of going along. How about you? What are you redesigning?
Yeah, we're redesigning some spaces. So we'll have to chat about that. Maybe that can be a whole separate show or episode on a Friday where you and I chat about all the things happening over here.
Yes.
And so really redesigning a lot, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we talked, I think when Sarah Hart Unger was on, just about how this whole back to school season feels like its own little special block of time. Even when you're beyond going to school yourself or having kids that are in school, it just does really have its own feel to it. And I think you are especially really in the thick of it with all of your changes. But yeah, even for myself, it just feels like, I want to cozy up the house, and it's spring cleaning's over, but now I feel like, I still want to do a little deep cleaning and get rid of some stuff and, that kind of thing. So
amazing. Well, it's always so delightful to talk with you, Kerri. And I was happy to hear about your recap of your bucket list. It sounds like it all went well and you can move some of those into the future a little bit. So it's all a win-win for sure.
Absolutely. And you too. And now it's going to be the fall bucket list. So that'll be fun to talk about.
I'm excited.
Great. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please share if you can think of anybody who might enjoy it. Leave us a review or a comment. We would love to hear from you. If you want to share with us what you did this summer, please go ahead and do that. We'd love to hear from you. And we will see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for listening to the Redesigning Health and Home podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, we would love for you to like, share, and follow along so you can catch us on all future episodes. You can find me, Meg, at Fit, Fed, Feeling Good on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And you can find me, Kerri, on my website at homestylewithkerri.com and on Instagram and Facebook at homestylewithkerri. That's Kerri. And you can find both of us at Redesigning Health and Home on Instagram and Facebook. So join us next time for more inspiration on creating a home and a lifestyle that truly supports your best self.